Here we are at Where 2.0. Can you say who you are?
Yeah, my name is Dennis Crowley. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Foursquare.
What's the quick backstory of Foursquare? How did you guys get founded?
Yeah, well, we've been trying to build things that make cities easier to use and the world more interesting to explore. And so it combines things like friend finder services with some social city guides and some game mechanics to really incentivize people to go out and do interesting things.
Okay. And you say you're going to hit like a million users in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, we'll probably do it. We have bets in the office. I think my bet is what I think I took May 1st, and one of our engineers thinks we're going to hit it by 3 weeks out. So we'll see.
Can you hit a couple of high points of the talk that you just gave as far as the kinds of things you're saying or how people are using the service?
Yeah, well, it's a lot about trying to make the real world more playful. Trying to reward people for doing interesting things, and then prescribing like difficult tasks for people that are not even difficult, but interesting tasks for people to do, and then reward them for doing it.
Right.
We're seeing. Some of the other lessons, like we're seeing local merchants get involved in a lot of this stuff, offering coupons and incentives for people that use Foursquare on a regular basis. In exchange, they're getting some stats on their businesses and some of the local merchants. And then, we're seeing media companies and brands also want to get involved. And so there's all these opportunities, and we're just struggling to keep up with all of them. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. So, of all the folks who are using it, the incentive right now is kind of the game-like badges, that kind of stuff. But is it sort of moving into more of a real-world direction of people who are trying to get, discounts or coupons or value?
Yeah, I think it's always been about like getting credit for the things that you're doing in real life anyway.
Right.
And so the special stuff has taken on a life of its own in a sense. Like we never thought that was going to be a big opportunity, and it turns out to be one of the main reasons that people really enjoy using Foursquare. And it's one of the things that gets venues psyched about it, and venues in turn get their users psyched about it.
Right. Okay. You mentioned like swarm parties, for example, and that was like one of the unanticipated kind of things. So could you explain what's happening there?
Yeah, so these swarm parties you get a swarm badge if you get 50 people together in one spot. And the swarm parties are about venues actually throwing parties to try to get a critical mass of people to show up, so their users unlock the badge. And it seems to be working. People enjoy getting the badges and people enjoy getting together.
And you're saying the local merchants are now sort of getting excited by the analytics of what does that kind of show them?
Well, it gives them a little bit of insight into the types of people that are visiting and who their best customers are. And it's not crazy valuable yet, but like we're just getting into this point where we can start making more interesting assumptions about different pieces of data. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And does Foursquare have an open API?
Yeah, it's completely open. Everything that we can do, you can do.
So, like Twitter, you're sort of expecting that within a year or two, there are going to be thousands or at least hundreds of developers building to it?
I bet we've got 100 apps already that have been built. And so who knows where we're going to be next year.
Right. And as far as other kind of competitors in the space like Gowalla, do you sort of talk about them at all? Do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah, we're looking at Twitter and Facebook. Like, those are the guys that we're really focused on. I think there's other folks that are doing really interesting stuff, but we're definitely focused on building our product and then, looking at the folks that are right above us.
All right, last question. I work with a lot of news organizations. I'm wondering if you see Foursquare as something that local news outfits can sort of tap into to plug into the power of their local communities.
It's tough for like breaking news and stories about like water mains and traffic jams. But when it comes down to like restaurants and things of interest around different cities, events that are going on, like there's a real good opportunity to throw some Foursquare in there. And so we're talking to a lot of folks about that now. It's a really fun space to be involved in.
So how can people contact you?
You can find me on Twitter. It's @Dens, or you can email me dens@foursquare.com.
Okay, thanks so much.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.